Welcome to Synup webinars. We'll be getting industry experts to come and talk about the problems businesses frequently face and how to effectively solve them. I'm Varsha and I manage PR and community for Synup, and I will be your host for today. The topic that we'll be addressing is how to audit your website and content using Google Analytics. So there are many amongst us who are bloggers, business owners, or digital marketers. What we all have in common is content. Often we post something and then we never go back to it again. But it's important to return to our content periodically to ensure that it's relevant and getting us the desired results. So to take you through the process of running a content audit using Google Analytics, we've got the content superstar, the expert himself, Andy Crestodina, co-founder and CMO of Audit Media. Over the past 18 years, Andy has provided digital marketing advice to more than 1,000 companies. He's also spoken at some of the biggest marketing conferences, written for various marketing blogs, and is also the author of Content Chemistry, the Illustrated Handbook for Content Marketing. So just to give you an overview of the webinar, guys, the presentation will go up to 50 minutes, after which we will have plenty of time to address your questions. So at any point, if you have any question for the speaker, please use the comment section and we'll address as many questions we can at the end of the session. Over to you, Andy.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I love this topic. Google Analytics is so fun to teach, and I really enjoy kind of demystifying it for people. I think a lot of people got into marketing because they wanted to be creative, and then they found out that marketing actually has a lot of data, and it can be intimidating for some people. But it shouldn't be, because it's just a tool to help make good decisions. It's just a tool to find insights and to get information about our audience. Anything in digital, anything in marketing that brings you closer to your audience is good. And this is a way to see a lot of your audience behavior, all kinds of information about what they want, what they're doing, what's affecting them, what's compelling them to act. That's always a good thing. So I assume that you guys can see my screen. Varsha, are we all... Can you, am I projecting here well? Can you see this?
Yes, I can see it. Guys, I hope you all can see it.
If there's any technical problems, let us know. Feel free to, if you have a question, feel free to ask it at any time, but we're going to be holding them toward the end. So we want to make this as interactive as possible, so we've saved time at the end. So I'm going to go through. Here we go. This is about auditing your website and your content, two different things, using Google Analytics. Now, fundamentally, everything that we do in digital or in optimization has one of two different types of outcomes. There's two types of actions that have two types of improvements. So if you don't make things better, they gradually get worse. You're either improving or you're falling behind. Visitors' expectations change every day, increase every day. People want more information accessed more easily every day. So as visitors' expectations increase and as competitors keep improving, we become relatively worse over time, to be blunt about it. So without any change or improvement, you're going to see a gradual decline in your performance. Inevitably. It's true, right? Every website needs to be redesigned eventually. Now, one way to make changes and improvements is to do the big change, the revolution, the all at once, the overhaul, the rebrand, the relaunch. And that gives you a big boost all at once. While you're doing this, while you're making the plans, it doesn't improve it until the day it goes live, of course. And that's revolutionary change. The other approach is the evolutionary change, which is about making small, gradual improvements over time. So generally speaking, when we audit our websites, we're going to be looking for big changes that we can make all at once sometimes. When we improve our content, we're going to be making small changes, improvements. There's like marketers that are 10x marketers and marketers that are 10% marketers. I'm a fan of both, and I understand that we need to keep improving through optimization, but that there are days when we need to step back and do the big relaunch. So I'm going to start with the website relaunch or the website audit. Some of these things will be optimization improvements, but generally speaking, like this is the big stuff. It's the website itself, and improvements to the website are durable. You don't have to keep making those changes. Every improvement to your website it gives you a durable advantage. So how do we understand our site? It's a fast way to just get a look at the size and shape of any website is to use a search operator, site colon, and just to put that into Google, and it will show you the relative size, right? How many pages, how many URLs from this website are indexed in Google? There's a lot of reasons why it's not an accurate view of the total number of pages. It won't show pages that have not been indexed, and it will show URLs that aren't technically pages. But still, in 2 seconds, you can kind of get a sense for, is this big, medium, or small, looking at any website and getting, what is Google indexed for us? Now, I think that if you put in another search operator, file type equals PDF, it'll show you if that site has a lot of PDF files. PDFs, in my mind, are kind of the rust of the internet. Websites that have lots of PDFs, people add PDFs because it's easier to add them than to make an HTML page. It's often because the content management systems are frustrating. So if you search for the number of PDFs on a website, it'll give you a clue sometimes as to like whether people are kind of using a patch or a hack to get content live. PDFs are actually useful as an alternate format for content, but should probably never be the only source, the only version of that content. Anything that's a PDF should also be a web page. Make sure that everything that is in PDFs is also as a web page. PDFs just don't have, they don't have analytics on them. They don't have HTML. They can't have interactivity. There's lots of reasons why PDFs are not ideal for content. Another thing is to just try to see the size of the site that isn't on the main domain. A lot of websites have subdomain content. A way to ask Google Analytics to show you all the subdomain content is to put in the search operator again, site:/website.com minus in URL : www. This is Google showing you all the pages that are indexed at subdomains, SFTP or learn dot or intranets, anything that's not no indexed will show up this way. Some sites have a lot of stuff at subdomains. They launch their blog using HubSpot or Uberflip, or they've got landing pages at Unbounce. I don't think Google finds them all. Here's a free tool that will help find them all or find more. And SiteLiner, put in a website in a SiteLiner and it shows you this related domains. It shows you what it finds there. So this is a good way to also see more about what's been happening. The problem with subdomains is that most people have not set up Google Analytics to accurately track visitors who move from back and forth from the subdomain to the website. So if I go from a www page to a learn page and back, the problem is that analytics sometimes shows that as two different visitors and 3 different visits. So you have to do an extra bit of tracking. If you ask me at the end, I could go through the slides for subdomain tracking. It's where you set up analytics to show the full URL as the pages. So instead of homepage being just /, it'll be website.com/. If you don't have subdomains tracked in your analytics view, then unfortunately you're inflating your numbers because people are moving back and forth. It looks like they're exiting and like those are new visits. Another way to quickly audit a website is to use a plugin. Here's a Chrome plugin called Ghostery. Ghostery looks at all of the advertising and tracking tags and pixels on any website in 1 second. So just click on Ghostery and it will show you what that site has on it. The average number of tags on a website, we did some research, is about 8. This website has a bit more than that. It shows a more mature marketing team, a more deeper tech stack, they sometimes call it. So you can sort of get the sense for at a glance, like what tools they're using, what tricks they're using. So Ghostery is a fun way to do it. You can also audit a website just by putting it into built with, and it shows you what was used to build the website. Advertising and tracking pixels, tracking tags and pixels will appear here as well. But also it shows you like the CMS, shows you if they're using content delivery networks, shows you hosting and DNS management. So if this is your own site and you're auditing your own site, take a look at these and ask yourself, are you using all those tags? Maybe you're not. Maybe you should be removing all the old tags. And then get all of these tags loaded into Google Tag Manager. There's free tools now. They used to be paid tools. They're more, Google kind of disrupted that industry by making tag management a free thing. When you use Google Tag Manager, you can get all those tags in a place where they can easily be triggered, turned on and off, depending on user behaviors. And also, you are going to be putting them all in one place. So if you're paying for a tool that you forgot about, you can remove it. You can turn things on. You can add them. You can basically add and remove and edit marketing tags and JavaScript tracking codes to websites without using a programmer. It's kind of helpful. And even if you are a programmer, you should be using this. So GTM, Google Tag Manager. Another way to audit websites is, of course, to look at the top pages. This is an SEO thing. The ranking potential of any page has to do with the number of links to that page. And in fact, the ranking potential of any page has to do with the number of links to that page's domain. That's a very short way to explain the most important part of SEO. Authority. Are there links to this site? Are there links to this page? And a lot of websites, if you run this simple report, this is Moz. This is a paid tool, but there's other tools that do this. The top pages report shows you who's linking and how many links there are to any URL on a site. This mini report will show you if all the links are to a home page, not ideal. Or if the backlink profile, you could call it, is spread out among many URLs on that website. So this is a measure of how good that brand is at off-site content marketing, PR, blogger relations, influencer marketing, link building. And if a site has low domain authority, which is available from the top report, or the page has low page authority, it means it has much less ranking potential. It's not likely to rank for any very valuable or very competitive phrases. So if you're relaunching a website, you need to definitely know how many sites are linked to any of your URLs, and be careful with them. Don't move them if you can help it. And if you do move them, maybe you're launching a new website with a new content management system with a new URL structure. These things were in a directory such as /blog. Now they're not going to be in a directory, or vice versa. You need to be deliberate about that and make a 301 redirect at least. Ideally not move them at all. Website relaunches do not have to affect rankings. It's only bad SEO that leads to lower rankings from a website relaunch. There's no reason there should be any confusion in Google if you do it carefully and properly. It's a little bit of surgery. So if there are new articles and they rank, but they don't rank well, wow, there's a lot of links to that page, but that page doesn't rank at all. It has authority, but it doesn't have relevance. Rewrite that URL. It's like a sports car sitting in the driveway. Take it out for a spin. And if you have high authority pages, pages that links from those high authority pages to other pages are worth more. That's a credible URL. Linking from that to other pages will pass more authority than a link from another page. So you can link from high authority pages to pages that almost rank high, passing authority specifically to the pages that need it most. This is an audit presentation, not an SEO presentation, but you get the idea. Now I want to measure the performance of my website navigation. Go to, so this is in the behavior reports. Acquisition, behavior, conversions, ABC. The behavior reports show what people are doing on your website. So when you're on the behavior report, if you click to drill down, anytime you click on the first column, this is called the primary dimension, click to drill down, you're going to see data specific to that row. Click to drill down and you see a row, the same table with just one row. That was boring, Andy, that didn't do anything for me. But now that I'm just looking at one URL, I can click on the navigation summary and see just the navigation through that specific URL. When I click on navigation summary, when I'm on the all pages report just for my home page, it will show me traffic flowing just through the home page, where people come from and where they go, what percentage entered on this page and what percentage left from this page. Current selection / that's the home page. This is the home page. People came to here, this percentage came to here as their first page, this percentage left right from here. These people who came from other pages, which ones? They went to other pages, which ones? So when there's a lot of the same pages in these top rows, that means that's a lot of back button activity, which could be a usability error, usability flaw. And where they go from here is basically the navigation, the performance of your navigation. So when people go from this page to these pages, this is what they're clicking on. Are they using the main navigation? Are they using interior link, internal links? Are they clicking on calls to action? What's working? What's not? It's right here. This is so valuable. So many website owners have never even looked at the navigation summary for their homepage and really don't even know what's getting clicked on a lot or little. Once you realize what this is, you might get rid of some navigation items, right? Or you might make them more prominent or rename them. What to do with low performing navigation items? Are they important? Are they descriptive? Maybe they're fine. it's a conversion, it's sign up for webinars. Yeah, only 1% of our visitors want to come to a webinar, but those that do are highly engaged. We're glad you're here. Or you can rename them. You can remove them, consolidate content by moving it into other areas. If you have valuable content on pages that rarely get visited, maybe move that to pages that are more popular. There's a highway. If your website was a city, there'd be a highway flowing through it. Put billboards on those highways, right? So not everyone seems to know. So when you look at a page, sometimes, wow, there's back button activity because the page has nothing above the fold. That's kind of a problem. Or maybe the page is just filled with distractions. This is a page about ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Think of it this way. There's a true story in the life of every visit to every web page. What's happening in this visitor's mind? They're distracted. They have ADHD. They're suffering from a condition and looking for help, probably, right? Why would they have clicked on this? So very weirdly, this allows the top of this page at the top of the visual hierarchy. The only color other than the interface color is red, which is Google Plus and Pinterest. Who seriously is going to save this page on Pinterest? Why would that web designer have made it this way? Now, when I'm looking at the ADHD content, it's just a bunch of basic information about what ADHD is. It's not telling me how you're going to help me. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Are you going to help me solve my problem? Have you solved this problem for other people? Instead, this is just like the WebMD content. And scroll down the page and you get to this giant pile of distractions. Remember, I have ADHD. Don't tell me about anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder and bipolar disorder. I'm not likely to. You don't want me to be distracted. You already know that I'm easily distracted. It's hilarious what people do with their websites. One of the problems with analytics, and won't show up in the navigation summary, is which of two items gets clicked the most. See this and see this? These both go to the same place. So which of these gets clicked more? Analytics doesn't know because it's just JavaScript on pages talking to cookies. Two clicks that go to the same place, it won't show which one got clicked. So there are other reports, other tools. Hotjar does this. Hotjar does it with, it's a paid tool, but it has a heat map for clicks, has another heat map for scrolling. And these heat maps will show you at a glance, okay, if I hover over that, it shows me that 7.7% of clicks are on that, and 2.5% of clicks are on this. Analytics would just show me that 10% of people went to that page, but it won't show me which when there's multiple navigation items. Generally speaking, multiple navigation, like redundant navigation, is a good thing. Nothing wrong at all with having more than one way to get someplace. So that concludes the mini website audit. These are just ways to measure the performance of your website. Off-site, on-site, backlink profile, navigation, all the URLs, the size, the shape of it. Now I want to move on to the content marketing audit and how to measure the performance of your content. Okay, websites are containers. Websites have the content within the container is either sales content, also known as copywriting, and it has content marketing stuff, also known as, content. So websites without content marketing are just online brochures. It's just a bunch of sales pages. So when you add the content marketing to it, it becomes a publishing platform. It becomes a magazine. It becomes a mini version of Wikipedia to give people lots of helpful, useful information to solve problems on their own, or trust you more. You can become a thought leader and so forth. So this is about managing, auditing the effectiveness of your content marketing content, not the sales pages, but the blog and the resources and the webinars and all the helpful, useful advice you put out in the world. Now, when you look at the All Pages report in Google Analytics, this is going to show, as long as you have goals set up with a value assigned per goal, this report is going to show you the value of the page. Now, I've set a value of $1 for every lead. If a lead is worth $1, then a visit to this page is worth 4 cents. A visit to this page is worth 5 cents. Look at this one down here. A visit to this page is worth 11 cents. That is a powerful clue that I should be guiding people toward that page. Depending on whatever you added for the page value when you set up goals. If you could make a different page value for subscribers or webinar registrants versus leads or sales. So, but when you do that, you get this. If you don't add a value to each of your goals, then this column at the right is just dark. It's just zeros. It shows nothing. If you do add a value, it lights up and you can see right away, like, this is the page I really should be trying to guide people toward. visitors to that page have stronger intent. You get the idea. So this also, at a glance, kind of shows like which pages are the best. So if this is about mousetraps, these pages catch mice. This is about cheese. These pages attract mice. So rarely are they the same. And the idea is to kind of put your pages together. So, you know, the mouse, the traps, and the cheese go together. But the reasons why these pages might be popular may not be because they're attracting visitors from search. They might just be popular clicks in your navigation. So there's a different report, not the all pages report, but the landing pages report is definitely going to be an indication of their ability to attract new visitors. It's definitely an indication of these pages' ability to grow brand awareness. Going to the landing pages. Acquisition, Search Console, landing pages shows you the pages that are performing in search. Right, this is impressions, this is clicks, this is the click-through rate, and that's visits or sessions over here. So the all pages report is sometimes misleading. It just because it's popular doesn't mean that it's popular as an entry point. It might just be the top click once the visitor's already arrived. So when you look at these pages, you're going to find that some of your pages get lots more traffic than others. And some of the pages are much more powerful at improving conversions than others. If you do not know which of your pages are the best at attracting visitors and which of your pages are the best at converting visitors, I don't know how you're going to do good marketing. You don't even know what players are the best players on your team, which is crazy. Yet a lot of marketers do not know. It's like it's like the navigation summary. A lot of marketers website owners don't even know what the most popular path is through their website. They live in a city, they have no idea where the highway is. Or other marketers, they don't know which of their pages are attracting visitors or which pages are compelling visitors to take action. So we're going to do that together. Which pages are compelling visitors to take action? Because if you can find those outliers, those top performers, you know exactly how to do good marketing. Larry Kim says this, when you find a unicorn, your job is to make baby unicorns. It's the outlier. Find those that are in that top 5% and then work on, you know, those are the good ones. So work on those more and you'll get better results faster than just paying attention to your low performing pages. Pay attention to the high performing pages and recreate those successes. So first we're going to find the traffic champions. Here we go. These are the pages I've said from Search Console that are attracting the most visitors. So number of impressions, which is views from, you know, number of times they've appeared in Google search results, number of clicks from Google search results, the click-through rate from Google search results. So these are the ones that are getting the traffic from search. What to do with the traffic champions? Add calls to action, linking them to your product or service pages, guiding visitors down the funnel from your blog to your service pages, from your content marketing content to your sales content. Or add calls to action to take them to other pages with high click that are also engaging. Or add click-through rates with related articles to send them to the blog posts that are converting visitors into subscribers, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Also, just making the better pages. Adding video to these can help a lot. Writing a related article can help a lot. This is what Google thinks your website's all about. So going deeper on these topics will often get you better results. Why does Wikipedia suck you in? You spend an hour there. It's because they've got the related article for everything. So you went there for one thing, and then an hour later, you're like, wow, I can't believe I just read all this other stuff about whatever, structural engineering or, you know, wind farms or everyone, you know, it's a click hole. You get sucked into Wikipedia because they have those great internal links that guide us deeper. So adding those great internal links to these traffic champions can help a lot. We also just want to make more of those. If you find your potential traffic champions, you will get better results faster. Here's how to find the pages, the URLs on your website that have the greatest opportunity for improvement as traffic champs. So in Search Console, there's a report for queries, and this report shows you all of your pages that rank and how high they rank. People always complain, oh, Google Analytics doesn't show me my keyword data. Yeah, it does. Look at all this keyword data. There's tons of keyword data in Google Analytics. It's in the Search Console reports. Actually, it's coming straight from Search Console, which you could log in there to get it. If you go to your Search Console reports and you see nothing, it's because you didn't finish setting up analytics. You need to connect Google Search Console to your website. You do that from the property settings. It's a adjust Search Console as the button under property settings. I'll share a link later for how to set up Google Analytics. So when you come in here, you can actually filter this, type in something into this filter box, and it will filter for anything in the first column. But I want to find my pages that almost rank high. In the ranking, technically it's average position, but it's over here on the right. So to filter for a column other than the first column, I have to use an advanced filter. So here's what we do. We click on advanced filter. And then I'm just going to make this say include where the average position is greater than 10. Now, if my average position for a key phrase is greater than 10, where do I rank? Not on page 1. It means I rank on page 2. This is me saying, hey, Google Analytics, show me all the phrases for which I rank high on page 2. That's it. So as soon as you do that, it's going to show you, here they are, the 10s. These are the phrases for which I rank at the bottom of page 1. So valuable, so powerful. Sort, click to sort by average position. There they are, right there. Brilliant, very useful. Even if I don't have access to your analytics, I could do this for you or any of our attendees in like 2 seconds. I do it using SEMrush, which is a paid tool. You just basically put in any website and it will show you all the phrases that that website ranks for. And there's a filter at the top where I can filter for page 2 phrases for which you rank 11 through 20. This tool is fun because it also shows you the URL. As you saw in the queries report, it doesn't actually show the URL for a couple of reasons. I mean, one is there might be 2 pages that rank for that phrase. Another is they're falling on the side of privacy for visitors. So there's a way to, if you start with the landing pages report and drill down, you can see whatever phrases that page ranks for. But if you just use SEMrush, you can see at a glance the phrase and the URL. And the projected search volume, like how many people they think per month are searching for that thing, which is fun. So you found that you rank at the top of page 2 for a phrase, or you almost rank high for a phrase. Now go confirm that ranking. Here's what it looks like. So I put in a target key phrase up here, user flow analysis or something. Here's a list of here's the search results page, search engine results page, SERP. And there it is. I see it down there at the bottom. It's never going to be the same number that it showed in Google Analytics. Analytics shows average position. It's the average over that date range. It's not going to be exactly that number. Don't expect it to be. We were just looking for clues anyway. In this case, I see that I'm ranking number 9 for this key phrase, at least for me. Personalized search results, implicit search signals, lots of reasons why my search results are different from yours. In any case, there it shows that I'm ranking. There's a lot of other, I do this for friends all the time. It's fun. This is what I do. I go to bars and do SEO for people for fun with a beer. CRM tips, my friend calls, she says, I'm at a new company. Can you help me? We want to rank for we want to improve our search rankings. Within 10 seconds, I can see that they're ranking high on page 2 for CRM tips. I, in fact, confirm that they are ranking at the high on page 2 for CRM tips. Now I'm going to go analyze that page to see how well it's indicating relevance. Here we go. The Control F test. Yes, my favorite SEO tool is free. It's Control F, like find, like you're in Microsoft Word. Now you're looking at the instances of that key phrase on the page. You're going to see right away if that key phrase appears in the header text, the H1. You're going to see right away if that key phrase appears in the body text. You're going to see if it appears as links, as internal links. So one thing to keep in mind is that links don't count. Links don't indicate the relevance of this page. Links indicate the relevance of the page they're linking to. So the Control F test is supposed to, at a glance, show me if I'm using the target key phrase in the body text or in the header. This is like such fast and easy SEO. So I go to this page, I search for CRM tips, and CRM tips doesn't appear on here even once, 0 out of 0 times. So I can definitely indicate relevance a bit better. Tips does appear 3 times, only 3. Let's count them. Once in the header, once over here on this side, and once over here again on this side. That's not body text. Those are links to other things. So the key phrase frequency in the body text on this page is 0. I just need to update this page to talk more about CRM tips. It's a 5-minute job. I could share a video where I deconstruct this and you can watch it in slow motion. It's basically like, I think it's on YouTube. It's called like Improve Your Google Rankings Fast. It's like, how to rank higher on Google in 5 minutes or something like that. And I'm not over promising. I can seriously, it's about how long it takes. Just, okay, other ways to improve that. Maybe you've exhausted all the low-hanging fruit and you're trying to make the page better in other ways. Semantic SEO, that page should talk about the related words and phrases, tips and tricks, tips for using CRM, implementation best practices. See, if I search for CRM tips, I find all the related phrases at the bottom. I could work those into the page, make it a better page, target the broader topic, not just the specific key phrase. SEO is not just about the key phrase frequency for the specific primary key phrase. Spread out your medium and get an awesome page on the topic, cover the topic in an exhaustive, detailed way. Answer the public is another way to see what people want when they want CRM tips. I put in CRM to answerthepublic.com, free tool. And it shows me all the questions people ask related to CRM. Answering these questions on that page is exactly what Google wants me to do, which is to make a great page on the topic. Cover the topic from every angle. We're going to zoom in. How CRM helps businesses operate, or how it improves customer experience, or how CRM helps marketing. What are the CRM software used, or what's the CRM, what are CRM campaigns? If I just choose some top questions from this list and answer those on that page, it's going to be a better page, better indicating relevance, better targeting the broader topic. That's called semantic SEO. So what to do with these potential traffic champions? Rewrite them and relaunch them, make them better pages. Your goal in SEO is to make the best page on the internet for your topic. You can also just improve the keyword focus, which was my first step. And finally, write for other websites, build a link, pitch an article about CRM mistakes to another website, which naturally might link back to your article about CRM tips. That's called the evil twin, I call it, like when you write the negative angle. I wrote best practices over here. I'm going to pitch the mistakes article as a guest post for some other website. The editors often love that, that angle. So you're not, as a content marketer, you're not just trapped on your own website, right? You should be writing for all kinds of websites. This is, I've done content marketing for 11 years, and still 1/3 of my content I write for other people's websites. It's just smart marketing. Another thing you can do is to watch your current rankings and see if they're falling. So we're going to watch for the falling stars. If you have Moz set up, this is the paid version again, you can see the change in rank over time. Just sort by declining ranking and you can see which of your pages is starting to fall. Even without a paid tool, you can actually see this pretty easily. If you make in analytics, if you make a segment for organic traffic and then choose a date range and compare it to the previous period, I chose 2 months here. I'm going to compare it to the previous 2 months. And that's going to show you at a glance which pages have declining organic traffic over the last few months, 2 months compared to the previous 2 months. So look at these are the pages that basically are, this one here about website navigation, traffic's down 12% over the last 2 months. A lot of people, they wait until it's too late. They don't have the chance to catch that ranking as it falls and improve that page and bring it up. They don't know they're falling stars. They're not watching at all. So I highly recommend, this kind of audit just to monitor. I mean, your total traffic is the aggregate of all of the traffic to each URL. So when people say, oh, total traffic's down 20%, if a client told me that, my next step is not to wonder big picture like aggregate traffic. It's to drill down to specific URLs and see which URLs are down, because some are up, some are down. Some are down a lot. Did that page matter? Were the visitors of high quality? Did they have visitors to that page ever convert? Maybe it actually has no business impact, except some brand awareness to a random audience. So, if you want to preserve your top line traffic, you need to defend each high ranking and high traffic URL. I don't know, that should be obvious. So what to do with these falling stars? The same as the traffic champs, the potential champs. Rewrite them, relaunch them, add detail, length, video, answers, improve their keyword focus, or build links to them by writing for something else. I'm a big fan of rewriting old content. These are pages that, according to the top pages report in Moz, sometimes show you a high authority, but they're not as relevant as they used to be. New content has come out on that topic, decreasing their ranking. So I rewrote an article recently called How to Set Up Google Analytics. I was up ranking on page 2. Ever since I rewrote it, it's been ranking in the middle of page 1. This is common for me. This is Moz showing me the day that I rewrote these things, the rank improves because it's a better page. It's just a better page. I've got a whole decks full of examples where I rewrote old articles and reversed the declining rank. This used to rank, this is a classic, SEO basics, used to rank on page 1 for years, drops, it didn't even register. When it's below 50, Moz doesn't track it, so it was off the radar. Rewrote it, pops up top of page 2, now it's middle of page 1. Search for SEO basics and maybe you find this one. It's a good article. Your best mousetraps. Okay, how are we with time? Your best mousetraps. Barsha will have plenty of time for questions. We're making good time. These are the pages that compel your visitors to take action. In content marketing, that typically means the pages that compel visitors to subscribe. They got so much value from that article that they actually, yes, people do it every day, subscribe to get more articles like that. If you ever looked at your site, without question, the place where people sign up the most is from an article, because that's where they just got value. That's where they just trusted you and raised their hand and said they want more. So to find your best mousetraps, there is a report called the Reverse Goal Path Report that shows you what people were doing before they converted. First of all, you have to have analytics set up with a thank you page to be able to use this Reverse Goal Path Report, because the thank you page is the goal in digital. This maybe is obvious. I'm not sure if it is, but I think of digital marketing as building a bridge between google.com and your thank you page. That's it. That's the game, right? We're trying to move people from Google to our websites. Through our websites, they build trust. They understand our, we can solve their problems, our history and passion story, contact form, thank you page. Or from Facebook to your thank you page, or from wherever their source of traffic to their thank you page, right? It's a chain of awareness and persuasion, right? Getting the click to get the visitor and then moving them through this site that builds trust and answers questions. So the Reverse Goal Path Report shows that path they were in, but in reverse. So the location, this is the thank you page from the newsletter, what were they reading right before they subscribed? This is what they were reading right before they subscribed, and this is the number of people who subscribed after reading that article. So although this might suggest that that's the most compelling page on my site, it's not necessarily true, because this is just the one that had the greatest number of raw conversions. It's not the conversion rate. If this article had 1,000 times as many visits, the conversion rate might be quite low. This page had very few visits, but a great number of those people subscribed. That has the conversion rate is very high. Conversions is a raw number. Conversion rates is a percentage. So let's find the conversion rate, which is hard to do. To do that, we need to go back to the all pages report and look at the unique page views to these. Not page views, I would take unique page views, which is more like a visit. This page was visited this many times, and that many people subscribed after reading it. I'd divide one number by the other to find the conversion rate. Very tedious. I have to divide this from this. What am I going to do? Like export all these into Google Sheets and then like create like a VLOOKUP or a find and replace or like merge that. It's very manual to do that calculated metric. The conversion rate from visitor to subscriber per blog post is not a report in Google Analytics. You have to calculate it. Calculated metrics. So they take a little bit of work. Stepping back, what most people think a conversion rate is the percentage of visitors who converted. That actually is not the analytics definition of a conversion rate. What a conversion rate really is, it's the percentage of visits for which there was a goal completion. So it's goal completions divided by sessions or visits. That's the actual definition. What I want to do here, this is going to look technical, is to find the conversion rate for an article, which is the total goal completions, and that article was in goal completion goal completion location 1 divided by, no, it's not goal completion location 1. I'm sorry, I think there's a mistake in this slide. What is the name of that column? Goal previous step 1. It's when it's goal previous step 1 divided by the unique page views to that URL. So I'm going to do it using Google Sheets. Here we go. Google Sheets integrates with Google Analytics. Ready? This is going to be kind of fancy. So I'm going to click to add on get the Google Analytics add-on. So as soon as you click that, you see all the Google Sheets add-ons. Don't get Flubaroo. No idea what that is. Get this little guy over here, Google Analytics. And now as soon as you add that on, it's going to ask you to grant it some permissions. Just click to allow give it all the permissions it needs. And then, now that it's there, you can click to create a new report. When you create a new report, it's going to ask you to choose the analytics view, account property view, okay? So make sure to use the view with the goals set up and so forth. Give that one a name, maybe a single word. And then the configuration, what do I need from this? I need goal completions, right? That's the first number we're gonna divide by. And I need it when it's a goal previous step 1. So as soon as you do that, the report configuration tab appears and it gives you that. Now, if you have a low traffic site, make the start date farther back. I made this 150 days. If you've got a million URLs, make this number higher, get 10,000 rows or something like that. Now I'm going to get the next one, which is page views, because I want to see unique page views for that. So it's the same view, give the report a name, that's going to be the name of the tab, page views, one word. And then the dimension is just the page, right? Unique page views for that page. That's the configuration for the second one. So now my goal configuration, report configuration tab has all of this information, has both conversions and page views. So now when I run the report, let's see, how does it look? When I run the report, it says 2 reports were created successfully, and here they are. So the conversion report, it has that all right here. Here they are. So on row 16, it starts. This is the completions, and this was previous step 1. So, and then on the page views report, on row 16, it starts. Here's the home page, and here's the number of page views. There's a lot of weird artifacts in here, which I'll filter out in a second. So now I'm going to make another tab. I'm clumsy with Excel. There's probably people in this webinar who know exactly what to do right now. Here's how I did it. I'm kind of a klutz. My wife helped me. So I made another tab called conversion rate per post, and I'm going to pull in the data from those other tabs. Page views, exclamation, A16, that's where the data for that starts, from that other tab, right? And then the next one, page views is a new column, and that one is going to be B16, where that data started, right? Page views B16. Now I'm going to make a spacer column, and the next one is going to be converting page. This is from the conversions tab, and these are reverse goal path 1, right? So these are the URLs again, and I'm going to make another column for conversions, which is now start with that information starts on B16. So conversions, exclamation, B16. So for the next column, I want to get the data from this over here in column F. I want all the data from column B to appear in column F, but only when this URL matches this URL. So that's called a V lookup, vertical lookup. So the vertical lookup is going to be, it's going to look like this. I'm not even going to read it. You can see it. This worked. It's basically saying, go get all the data from that column, D3, and grab it from the array from A3 to B3. This is the array, everything from that row down 1,000 rows. And grab the data from the 2 columns over, 1, 2, the page views, and grab that exact data. That's what the 0 means. So when it's done, this shows you the number of page views for that page and the number of conversions when that page was goal previous step 1. That's it. So now the last step is very simple. You just need to create a column for the conversion rate to divide E6 by B6. That's it. This is it. This is one of the most valuable calculated metrics that you'll ever, as a content marketer, that you'll ever report on. And it's an unbelievable audit because it shows you which of your pages converts visitors into subscribers at what rate. It shows you which of your URLs is the strongest at supporting your email list growth. It shows you which of your content is loved the most. So I'll make a table out of it. I had to make some filters. You can see these like little filters are on to remove things for which there were, if there's a 1 conversion, that's not enough, right? So I made some filters, and here they are. Now I made a chart, and look at the chart. Look at how much more compelling number 1 is. Oh, I made a slide. Number 1 is twice as good at growing subscribers as number 6. Wow, big difference. And number 6 is twice as good at number 12. That's like almost an exponential curve there, right? You get the idea. So without knowing this, how on earth would you know what to promote? People wake up in the morning and they decide I'm going to promote some content. What do they randomly choose it? Not ideal. Why wouldn't you put your best cheese on your best mousetraps? Why wouldn't you keep these high converting posts in heavy social rotation? Why wouldn't you put those back on top of the blog, right? Or put them on your homepage or in your email signature or whatever. So now I used to do this manually by pulling these reports, exporting them from analytics, and then trying to merge all the columns, which was not very efficient. I would only do it like twice a year because it took me like 45 minutes. Now, Monday morning at 4 a.m., this report does it for me every Monday morning at 4 a.m. You can just schedule this report to happen automatically forever. You will always know for the rest of your career or for the rest of the website. Now you may need to go back and make the filters again, as you come back to the reporting, but you will, this is like a set it and forget it, it's done. You'll always know your most compelling, highest converting content, your strongest let's growth building content. Yay. So what I have found in my experience is that visitors, people who are new to analytics, click a lot on the left side of this line, and they only see aggregate data. This is the worst way to use analytics. This is the least insightful use for analytics. So when you just click over here, literally like count where you're watch where you're clicking. If you're just clicking on the left, you're only seeing aggregate data, which is the least likely to provide you with any kind of insight. People who are really good at analytics, they click out here a lot, which you saw me doing, right? I was creating advanced filters. I mentioned several times I had made segments, which are very easy. Just play with it. It's very easy. I was drilling down. You can add secondary dimensions, add filters for your secondary dimensions. So yeah, this is where the more advanced users work. And then the experts at Google Analytics aren't even inside the analytics interface. They're using things like Google Sheets and Google Data Studio. They're pulling things out of analytics and using like DataBox and Mixpanel and other places where they're reporting on that data, doing slicing and dicing, pivot tables, getting lots more insights. So when you have the data, what you have is defense against bad meetings. You have defense against foolish clients and foolish bosses who do everything based on opinion. Opinion versus opinion, the highest paid person's opinion wins. That's called a Hippo. It's the highest paid person's opinion, and it's bad for marketing. Someone who wanted that thing, they just think that's the thing, like they're excited about that thing, and they're not making decisions based on data. They're making it based on their gut. So beware of the Hippo. You have to bring data to your meetings. Have a great meeting by bringing data and showing this is what's working, this is what's not working. This is why, people click on this a lot. People never click on this. This is what people love. This has authority. This has conversions. This has this is getting ignored. So there is an article in this deck. If you search for content marketing audit, you can probably find it. It breaks this down in this little chart that shows you traffic champs what to do, potential champs what to do, falling stars. So if you search for content marketing audit, you can probably find it there. But that kind of wraps this up, guys. That's the book, which has everything in it all in one place. You can find it on Amazon or find it anywhere. As Varsha said, that's the illustrated handbook for content marketing. I'm going to stop my screen share so I can come back and see if we've got any questions, and I'll pop it back open if we want to look at something together in real time.
Well, that was a really great and intense session, if I may say so, because there's so much to learn from this deck. Thank you so much, Andy, for the
Sure.
detailed and informative session. Guys, we are now open to questions. Please feel free to ask questions to Andy if you have any. There is one question, Andy, I would like to address. This is from Supriya, who says, could you please explain the VS resolution versus evolution topic once more?
Oh, sure. So when you have big ideas and you make big changes, you're changing your position, your brand, your website. These are big changes that happen all at once. We used to describe our work as this. Now we're going to describe it as this. I've always been a web development company. Now I'm going to call myself a digital agency. That's a small revolution in your position. It's a major change in your position. And that's like, the idea is to get like 10x better results, much better results. What a optimizer does, and it's not like redesigning a website, It is to make small iterative improvements and change things over time. That's more like someone looking for a 10% better result. So in between massive revolutionary changes to our websites, in between website launches, in between rebrand. So rebranding you'll do once every 10 years. Website relaunch you'll do once every 4 years. These are big all at once changes. In between, we should all be looking for opportunities to do gradual improvements and get better results over time. Optimize your navigation, keep publishing more content on certain topics. Try something like, we're gonna have a video strategy for social media now, whatever that thing is. If these things work, they give you like a 10% better result. But there are amazing case studies of companies that repositioned themselves and found a much bigger audience and got like 10x better results. It is possible.
Great. There's another question from Brittany Langmeyer. She says, could you please once more review what previous pages means under the navigation summary?
Sure. So I'll come to, let me share my screen, and I'll do it live with an actual browser. Not that browser. I will use this browser. Okay. So here's my life, by the way. I have pinned tabs for email, CRM, a tab for sheets for all my content marketing stuff, Drift, my chat, and I have one tab that's always pinned for Google Analytics. So it looks like the last thing I was doing in Google Analytics was measuring my changes in conversion rate for this year compared to this time last year. Am I producing fewer leads? Looks like slightly yes. So this was an interesting question we were answering this morning in a meeting. So if I'm trying to measure the performance of my navigation, I'm going to go to behavior. Well, here we go. ABC, acquisition, behavior, conversion. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. So behavior, site content, all pages. If there's two reports that are maybe the most useful in analytics, one of them is probably all pages, and the other one is probably all traffic, your traffic channels report. So I'm in all pages. I don't need to compare any date range right now. I'll look at since January 1st. I'm gonna go to the navigation, I'll go to the home page. I'm gonna go to navigation summary. This is showing, now it's not the only page on your site, but this is a popular page. So the navigation summary from this page is especially useful. So current selection, you can choose any other page on your website here if you wanted to. And by the way, if you've got a landing page, this will show you if people are leaving it and going somewhere. If they go somewhere, where do they go? If you don't see what you're looking for here, you can expand this to see more rows. Thank you. And so this little icon is supposed to be the page that you're on, which is the home page. 72% of people who visit this page start their visit on this page. 48% of people who visit this page leave without going to a subsequent page. So if they came from somewhere else, this is where they came from. If they went somewhere else, this is where they went. So all this is showing me is that on my site, my navigation is very straightforward. I'll show you. Here's the relatively big featured area. People tend to interact with the main navigation. As I click around, it's showing me, there's like big videos at the top. So it's not surprising that people keep interacting with the top level navigation. This takes me back home. So it's not weird to me that there's a lot of back button activity here, but this is the summary for that page. And remember, keep in mind, if your blog, if clicking on your blog takes them to blog.website.com, then you need to have that extra filter set up in analytics to show your full URL, which we didn't really get into too much, but if we need to, I could show you, or I could show you a video that shows you how to set up that filter to show your full URL.
Great. Okay, so we have a couple of questions. We have Drishti asking us, what role do you think Google Analytics plays in A/B tests? And the second question is also, is it wise to be tracking 4 to 5 different goals?
First question is A/B testing. If you're doing actual A/B testing where A and B are live in the same time, then you're using Google Optimize or something similar to track that. So what that looks like is it's part of the Google Analytics or Google Marketing Suite, they call it now or something. So this is Google Tag Manager. This is Google Optimize. And in Google Optimize, you're creating variants and running tests. What a lot of people do is they don't run formal tests. They do serial testing, where I'm going to make a change to this thing. What if I call this web design? Would that increase click-through rates? So I just come into my CMS and change it, and then 2 weeks later, I'm going to look to see if the navigation summary changed. That's not a test formally. It's a serial test. A and B are subsequent. So if you're doing serial testing, you're using analytics. If you're doing real A/B testing, you're using Google Optimize. The question about is it wise to track more than one goal? Absolutely. You should track every conversion as a goal. So when a visitor changes their status from visitor into lead, visitor into subscriber, visitor into demo requester, visitor into webinar registrant, visitor into live event registrant, visitor into ebook downloader, they are no longer the same status. They've converted. Not like a religious conversion, but they've changed. So all those things you have to track as separate goals. You can set up to 20 goals inside one analytics account. I'm tracking people who became a lead. I'm tracking people who subscribed from the blog footer. Tracking people who subscribed from my thank you page, which is another opportunity for conversions. Look, you only get 20 goals, so be deliberate about it. I'm tracking people who subscribed from the sticky footer. Tracking people who asked me to speak at a conference. So all of these things are now trackable separately. So if I come into acquisition, all traffic channels report, this shows me the source of traffic, organic, referral, social, and the percentage who took action to become a lead or to become a subscriber. So I can see, is this source of traffic, is social media getting my visitors to subscribe? 0.4%. Subscribe from the footer and from social media. Is social media getting my visitors to become leads? No, 0.1%. So if you want to measure the performance of your website against any of its goals for any of its attributes, traffic or pages or whatever, you need to make a goal for that thing. So the way most people do marketing, you probably should have like at least 3 or 4 goals, 1 goal for every conversion type at least.
Great. We have 2 more questions. One is from Dennis, who says he's bought your content illustrated content handbook. Another, his question is, where can we learn how to set up Google Analytics?
My best attempt to teach that is how to set up Google Analytics. It's a difficult phrase to target because Google targets it, but it is here. Search for how to set up Google Analytics, and it probably will appear somewhere on page 1, the complete guide with video. It's on my site. If you go to my site and search for it, you could probably find it. But this is, it also ranks for that phrase, hopefully. And on this page, it explains everything. Clicks that don't count, where you need to do event tracking. And it has a big video, and the video is broken up so that at every scroll depth, how to filter out traffic from yourself, how to exclude traffic from robots. It's all, there's video, the video is broken up so that that big video appears here on every page. So that's probably the best place to do it. I have everything in there, and I'll put that link here, but you can also just search for it.
Great. Okay, so we have another question from Eve. Eve says, how do you work around GDPR in Europe using the data and nurturing the leads? Does Google have legalities that take care of it?
So Google Analytics does not capture anyone's personal information. Everyone's information is automatically and completely anonymized in analytics. So I'll come back to GA. So I don't really get anyone's information in here. If you look at like your users, they're just numbers. So there is no there is no personal data that's captured. So but still, GDPR affects everybody. It's came from Europe, but anybody with European visitors on their website, and that is every website probably, needs to be compliant for GDPR. So we're the places, so you can see we have visitors from all over the world. Where are the places on it? By the way, the pie chart view is fun because it makes these charts a little bit easier to look at sometimes. So what percentage of my visitors are from Europe? If I choose continent, I guess this might show me I have 21.4% of visitors from Europe. So how do I stay compliant? Well, anytime anyone's filling out a contact form or even a blog comment, they're giving me their information. Anytime they're subscribing to the newsletter, they're giving me their information. So what most companies in the US have done, and I don't know if I can get it to trigger because the cookies are already set, but as soon as you land on this website, it says, you can accept the cookies or not. I do that using a plugin called CookieBot, and I have it appear, I think, just for people in Europe. Originally, we had that appear for everybody, and it doesn't mean you get less traffic, but it means your traffic is not tracked if people don't accept the cookie, right? Analytics is based on JavaScript and cookies. So if I show you all of my traffic going back to the beginning of 2018, you're going to see the drop from GDPR where we experimented with different levels with different settings in CookieBot. So this is my weekly traffic, and boom, it's like as soon as I set up GDPR, we lost a ton of traffic, and then we changed the settings and kind of grown it back over time. So analytics underreports everybody, right? Not everyone's going to accept cookies, so you probably have 10 or 20% more traffic than analytics shows anyway. The final way in which the websites can be compliant with GDPR is to put the privacy policy link near the sign up. So you kind of have to put that there. That's a GDPR change. So any place where the visitor can subscribe, you have to tell them that. So that's how we stay on the right side of European law.
Great. So I think this is going to be our final question from Mano Behra. Any tips on how to reduce high bounce rates for pages?
It's a great question. What is a high bounce rate is a big debate. So I will first answer the question by saying you can reduce bounce rates by making the page, by adding links to related content. If you know which of your content headlines gets high click-through rates, adding related links, which are the highest click-through rate headlines you have, will always reduce the bounce rate, because when the visitors get to that, they were going to be compelled by that amazing headline you've got. Chose your best headline based on an audit, and people who click on that will lower the bounce rate. You can also generally lower bounce rates by increasing traffic from low bounce rate channels. Every channel, of course, has a different bounce rate, and if you can, if I double my traffic from referral sources, that should lower my bounce rate because that's a lower bounce rate channel. So adding, improving your content, improving related links, just giving people more information, internal linking, like I said about Wikipedia. But bottom line, I actually don't really worry about bounce rates almost ever. If I did paid ads and landing pages, I would care a lot because bounces cost me money. But if someone's searching for website footer design and they get all the information they need and 85% of them leave, why do I care? It's not as if that hurts me. We all visit websites with one specific information need, and if we get that need solved, we would just tend to leave. It's not that big a deal. So yeah, 100,000+ people have read this article about testimonials, 93% left. That doesn't affect my goals. I'm still generating more demand than I need, and I'm not that worried about it. But still, I mean, if you want to lower your bounce rates, try to decrease, there's no good number, just try to reduce the bounce rate based on what it was yesterday. And if there's one last tip, I would say, make sure that your calls to action have the 3 Ps. Prominence, the sticky footer is always there. Promise, it tells people what they're going to get, web marketing tips, and how often, bi-weekly. And proof, join the X number of people who subscribed. So if you search for email sign-up forms, I wrote an article about this, you add the 3 Ps, prominence, promise, and proof. That's going to maybe decrease your bounce rate, but only indirectly. It's going to increase your list growth. This is super, super powerful. I would never make an email sign-up box without including the 3 Ps. Prominent, it's big at the top. Promise, what you get and how often. Proof, other people do it. That's my best advice for growing your list.
Okay, I think that's a great session, and that was like the answers I think I hope everybody got the kind of answers they were looking for. I mean, it did help them. So thank you, Andy, for once again for taking time out and taking this like informative session for all of us. Thank you all for attending the session and being so wonderful. We will be sharing the recording with you all. So do follow us on Twitter to keep a track of all our upcoming webinars. We'll be back with another session in April. Until then, take care and goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you so much. Goodbye.